61 Rare Authentic American Photos of World War II You Must See Part 3.
Subscribe for daily content. Support this channel so it can grow.
Only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you feel like supporting me more, join my Patreon.
1. American troops in a snow-filled trench during the Battle of the Bulge, 1944. 2. American soldier resting and eating in Italy, 1943–45. 3. Italy. 1944. 3rd Infantry Division troops during the Battle of Cisterna. 4. American soldiers rested in a courtyard during the drive towards Rome. 5. U.S. Marines show their appreciation to the Coast Guard during the recapture of the island of Guam, the 21st of July to the 10th of August 1944. Guam is a U.S. territory in the Mariana Islands that was captured by the Japanese on the 10th of December 1941. 6. U.S. Army aviator Lieutenant Petty posing in front of his B-25 Mitchell bomber with his full crew, date unknown. 7. AF-4U-1D of Marine Fighting Squadron VMF 332 at Kadena, Okinawa on April 9, 1945. 8. Ground crew members of the 459th Fighter Squadron, nicknamed the Twin Dragon Squadron, working on a Lockheed P-38 at an airbase in Chittagong, India. January 1945. 9. F-6F-5s of VF-16 on the forward flight deck of the carrier USS Randolph, CV-15, off Japan while BPF destroyer HMS Urchin crosses in front, August 1945. 10. The invasion force comes ashore, Okinawa, April, 1945. 11. U.S. sailor removing the securing lines before launching a Mark 13 aerial torpedo from PT boat operating from the Subchaser Training Center, Miami, Florida, 1944. 12. Troops of U.S. 442nd Regimental Combat Team marching through Vada, Italy, 1944. 13. Crewmen aboard USS Saratoga lift AOM Kenneth Bratton, USNR, out of a TBF Avengers rear turret after a raid on Rabaul. November 5, 1943. 14. The mayor of Cherbourg, Paul Renault, thanks General Collins, commander of the 7th Corps, for liberating the city. Late June, 1944. 15. First Lieutenant Cora M. Foster of the Women's Army Corps, WAC, escorts Lieutenant General Mark W. Clark, Colorado U.S. 5th Army, on an inspection of the 6,669th WAC Headquarters Platoon outside the General's headquarters in Italy, April 1944. The creation of WAC units were authorized on 15 May 1942. 16. Battle of Kwajalein Atoll, the 29th of January to the 3rd of February 1944. 17. Men of the 133rd Field Artillery Battalion enjoying Coca-Cola on the front, March 17, 1944. 18. Admiral Ernest J. King, Frank Knox, Secretary of the Navy, and Admiral Harold R. Stark leave the White House, 1942. 19. U.S. Marines fire a captured Japanese mountain gun during the attack on the town of Garapan, Saipan, the 21st of June 1944. 20. A U.S. Navy Douglas-5 Solomon Islands Dauntless from Task Force 58 covering the landings at Tanamera Bay, Hollandia, Papua New Guinea, the 22nd of April 1944. Landing craft can be seen heading toward Red Beach 2. The Battle of Hollandia was a 6-week campaign that forced the Japanese to abandon eastern New Guinea. 21. November 26, 1944. The surviving members of USS Intrepid's crew gathered to pay their respects to 69 men, killed by kamikaze attacks the day before. 22. Landing craft transports troops of Company I, 34th Infantry Regiment, 24th Infantry Division up the Mindanao River for the assault on Fort Pickett, the 30th of April 1945. Fort Pickett was built by the Spanish in 1893 and was taken over by the Japanese after their occupation of the Philippines. 23. The F-6F-5 Hellcat fighter of David McCampbell on board the aircraft carrier USS Essex, July 30, 1944. With 34 kills, McCampbell is the U.S. Navy's top-scoring ace, and the third highest-scoring American ace of World War II. 24. USN landing ship tank disembarks troops in Italy via a causeway. This photo appears to have been taken during the Salerno landings, circa September 1943, and these may be troops of the 36th Infantry Division of the Texas National Guard, which distinguished themselves in Italy, France, and Germany. 25. A soldier of the 311th Infantry Regiment, 78th Infantry Division, 1st U.S. Army, uses a burning German convoy for shelter as he draws a bead on enemy in the woods near Huniff, Germany, March 1945. 26. GIs during an attack on the Beauvais Road, just northwest of La Haye-du-Puits in Normandy, 1944. 27. A Douglas A-20G Bevo crashes into the sea during a bombing run, Cocos, Dutch New Guinea, July 22, 1944. 28. North American B-25 Mitchell production in Kansas City in 1942. 29. An A-20 from the 3rd Bombardment Group barely hit the mast of a Japanese freighter after a low-level skip bomb attack. This photo was taken during an attack on Japanese ships in the harbor at Rabaul, New Guinea. Major Raymond Wilkins was killed during the battle while exposing his aircraft to fire. 30. Colorized photo of B-17s on a bombing run over Germany, 1945. 31. Japanese Type 95 Ha-Go light tank knocked out by soldiers of the U.S. 32nd Infantry Division. Leyte, 1944. 32. General George Patton acknowledges the cheers of thousands during a parade through downtown Los Angeles on June 9, 1945. Patton returned to Germany and controversy, as he advocated for the employment of ex-Nazis in administrative positions in Bavaria. This resulted in his being relieved of command. 33. B-29s of the 29th Bombardment Group taxiing on the North Field, Guam 1945. 34. Soldiers of the 55th Armored Infantry Battalion and one tank of the 22nd Tank Battalion move through smoke-filled street. Wernburg, Germany, 1945. 35. General George S. Patton, Jr., left, commander of the U.S. 15th Army, and his Chief of Staff, Major General H.R. Gay. 36. The Americans realized the desperation of the Germans when they began capturing young teenagers who had been pressed into service. These young SS soldiers were taken prisoner near Bastogne, Belgium, 1944-45, by the American 2nd Armored Division. 37. GIs rushing to a disabled Panther tank under the cover of a bazooka team, Normandy 1944. 38. Browning M1919A4 machine gun crew positioned on the streets of Manila, Philippines. February 1945. 39. American troops advance through a breach in the German Siegfried Line, the Westwall, 1945. The Siegfried Line was a series of defensive fortifications, steel and concrete obstacles, and bunkers along the German borders with France, Belgium, and partially with the Netherlands. 40. A heavily armed Marine assault team moves out on Okinawa. Spring 1945. 41. German prisoners of war escorted by American soldiers in Cherbourg, 1944. 42. 2nd Infantry Division troops and equipment going up the bluff from Omaha Beach to Saint-Laurent-sur-Mer on D+1, the 7th of June 1944. 43. American troops approaching Omaha Beach. 44. Republic P-47D Thunderbolt, 1943. 45. North American P-51 Mustang, the 26th of July 1944. 46. Major General Jimmy Doolittle, 8th Air Force Commander from January 1944 to VE Day. 47. B-17s in flight. 48. American troops on board a landing craft going in to land at Oran. November 1942. 49. Men wait to enlist at recruiting headquarters in San Francisco, December 1941. 50. P-40s of 3rd Squadron, 1st American Volunteer Group, Flying Tigers, flying over China, the 28th of May 1942. 51. American pilots of No. 71, Eagle Squadron rushed to their Hawker Hurricanes, the 17th of March 1941. 52. Key American military officials in Europe. 53. 2 U.S. B-17 Flying Fortresses in flight over Europe. 54. U.S. Marine Corps with the nation's flag during the Battle of Iwo Jima. 55. Captured Japanese 70mm Type 92 battalion gun, Makin Atoll. 56. Landing craft and LVT, Makin Atoll. 57. Bombardment of Makin Island viewed from cruiser USS Baltimore. 58. Soldiers in jeep and on bicycle on newly captured Makin Atoll. 59. Captured Type 92 Lewis machine gun on tripod, Makin 1943. 60. U.S. troops inspect Japanese dummy gun on Makin Island. 61. U.S. officer of the 165th Infantry cuts up a piece of canned meat for hungry children.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. Support the channel so I can bring you more content. Thank you again.